So if you guys watched my last video, I went over exactly how to IGL in trios in the best way possible, and in today's video, I want to go over exactly how to be the best fragger possible for your trio. I'm going to go over 6 essential fundamentals of becoming an insane fragger in Fortnite competitive. These tips will make sure that you guys have the tools to dominate fights in trios. Stick around for the full breakdown, let's get right into it. Alright, let's start by clearing up one of the biggest misconceptions about fragging. Being aggressive doesn't mean being reckless, and being passive doesn't mean camping. The best fraggers are those who master tempo switching. This is the ability to smoothly transition between defensive and aggressive playstyles based on your situation. Imagine that you're boxed up and healing in a late game scenario. You're low on HP, but you hear the opponent close by. Most players panic or make a run for it, but what you should do instead is bait the opponent into making an aggressive move, and as they open their wall or edit their build to engage you, that's your cue to switch the tempo, hit them with a perfectly timed pre-fire shot which instantly flips the situation to your favor. Now, instead of continuing to play defensively, you've gained the health advantage. This is where you shift to an aggressive tempo, take control of their walls, out-edit them, and secure the elimination. It's a back and forth dance of aggression in defense, but mastering it is the key to coming out on top. Another aspect of tempo switching is knowing how to apply pressure at the right times. It's tempting to spam your builds or just spray your AR, but effective fraggers know when to slow down and wait for the perfect opportunity to attack. Overcommitting can lead to overextension, and that's when fraggers make mistakes that cost them and their team the game. Now, something that's important to talk about as well is the role of a fragger. While your main job is to secure eliminations and refreshes for the team, there's a deeper layer to it. You're also the support to the IGL. A lot of players think that fragging is a solo endeavor, but in reality, it's a team effort. Take examples from really good trios like Booga, Peterbot, and Cold. While Peterbot is one of the best fraggers in the world, he doesn't act alone. He listens to his IGL Booga and waits for key moments to engage. There was a match in the previous Cash Cup where Booga made a call to rotate across a dangerous area of the endgame zones, and instead of blindly rushing in, Peterbot decided to position himself slightly behind the IGL, keeping an eye on the team's backside and making sure that they were supported. As soon as they got pressured from behind, Peterbot was ready. He took control of the fight and then secured the eliminations that allowed the team to keep rotating. The key point is that you can't just play for yourself as a fragger. You have to communicate constantly with your IGL, let them know what you see and when you've hit somebody for big damage or when you need materials. This synergy ensures that your team moves fluidly and that your IGL's rotations are protected. Now, of course, a really important aspect of being a fragger is mastering your refresh strategies. Getting those refreshes, whether it's loot, materials, or shield, is crucial in the mid and the late game. Let's break down the top 3 strategies for securing refreshes. Number 1 is going to be pre-edits. Pre-edits are an incredibly powerful tactic, especially in stacked endgames. You or your teammate can set up a pre-edited wall or cone in advance, allowing for a sneaky shot or unexpected attack onto an enemy team who's not prepared. While it is underused, the best fraggers know when to bust out a pre-edit to surprise their opponents and get that crucial elimination. Picture this, you're rotating with your trio, and you notice a player right in front of you boxed up with minimal builds. You and your teammate can use a pre-edited wall to sneak into their box without them realizing it. Suddenly, you're both in their face, catching them completely off guard, and a quick piece control move from you or your teammate and a perfectly timed shot from you, that's one easy refresh secured. The key is communication. Always have one team member watching for opportunities while the other handles rotations. Now, the second method for getting refreshes is using the backside of the zone. When the storm is closing in, the back of the zone is often where the most chaos happens. Players are desperate, low on materials, and not paying attention to their surroundings. This is where fraggers can truly shine. By positioning yourself on the edge of zone, you can pick off players who are focused on rotating. They won't expect you to be waiting for them, and a well-timed ambush can lead to an easy refresh. Always keep track of the zone's movements and look for players struggling to make it in. These are prime targets for quick eliminations and good refreshes. And then a pretty simple third method is to just cut off rotations. During congested zones, trios will often rotate in packs. This is where you can use piece control to block their path and trap them by placing walls and cones ahead of their movement. You can use piece control and then force them to engage onto your teams. This will give you guys the offensive aggressive advantage and ensure that you are able to get these refreshes as quickly and as seamlessly as possible. Now, another crucial aspect of being a fragger is using your awareness and your positioning. A lot of players get tunnel vision and forget about the bigger picture. If you're not constantly scanning your surroundings, you're gonna miss out on opportunities or fall victim to sneaky plays from other trios. So let's say that you're in a trios match, rotating through a congested area. Instead of focusing solely on the path ahead, you should be scanning for potential threats behind and above you. I can't tell you how many times I've seen fraggers miss out on a key refresh because they weren't paying attention to the solos trailing them. By staying aware of your surroundings, you're able to spot vulnerable players who are easy for picking quick eliminations. A really advanced tip that I see even some pro players struggle with is that the aspect of awareness is recognizing when it's also time to disengage. Not every fight is worth taking, especially if it's going to drain your team's resources. Be smart about which fights you commit to, and if you notice that you're low on materials or shield, it's often better to fall back, regroup, and look for a more favorable fight. And of course guys, something that's big as well is the Fragger-IGL relationship being crucial for team success. As a fragger, you're responsible for executing on your IGL's calls without hesitation. There's no room for second guessing in the heat of the moment. One common mistake that I see is fraggers trying to go rogue during key moments. While there is room for creativity in going off on your own, sometimes that can leave your IGL vulnerable and outnumbered. Stick with the team, and if you see an opportunity, communicate it clearly, and hopefully your IGL and support player will agree with you and follow. I've seen trios that struggle because their fragger keeps going for solo plays. Instead, they should try to stick with the team and capitalize on coordinated attacks. I've seen examples where fraggers are constantly overextending, getting caught in bad situation, and this is going to cost them the game. Remember, follow the plan, and if you want to make a play, clear it with your IGL first. And then guys, the final thing is kind of going to be the nuts and bolts of being a fragger. It requires practice. There's no substitute for grinding, whether it's creative mode, zone wars, or competitive ranked. The more you practice your mechanics, piece control, decision making, and aim, the better you will become as a mechanical fragger. Here's a really quick training routine that I think a lot of you guys can benefit from. To improve quickly, dedicate time each day to focused training. You can start with stuff like 1v1s, maybe this can be realistic 1v1s and creative to practice your piece control and fast edits. Then move on to your zone wars or realistic endgame scenarios to stimulate the high pressure moments that you'll face in competitive trios. And then also don't forget to review your gameplay afterwards, because if you guys are watching replays from your perspective, analyzing what mistakes you made in trios, it's one of the best ways to learn and grow as a player. And hopefully what this will do for you guys is make you guys a very well-rounded fragger, somebody who's not only good at fighting mechanically, but somebody who's also very knowledgeable and actually agrees with the IGL on a lot of your plays. My opinion is that a fragger is literally just an IGL who's way better at fighting than they are at IGLing. They should be able to IGL for a trio, however, they should be really good at fighting as well. I personally believe that that's what makes the best fraggers, and if you guys see all the really good fraggers such as Clicks, you see people like Peterbot, they are really smart as well. So make sure you watch players like those to learn from them, and I promise you, you will grind and you will improve. Guys, that is about it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video on exactly how to become a good fragger in trios. If you want a video on how to become a good support player, drop a like, leave a comment letting me know. I really hope you all enjoyed. If you master these 6 fundamentals, I promise that you will improve drastically in your trios gameplay, and you and your trio will improve altogether. Let me know in the comments which tip in this video helped you the most, and don't forget to let me know about what in-depth content you guys actually want on the channel. But that's about it for this video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.